Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We still need a couple of minutes until the players are around, but I guess it's a little bit, more entertaining probably if I talk to you and you're not only depending on the music and the screen in front of you. So we had an awesome Zerg versus Zerg. I really enjoyed that a lot. It was a ZVZ between Slayers Yu-Gi-Oh and Minseok. Minseok was able to take out Jinro in his Code A qualifier tournament in the final 2-1, but he was not able to take down Yu-Gi-Oh. The Zerg player from Team Slayers just proved a little bit too strong for him and won the first map and the third one, therefore advancing to the second round of the tournament. I think on the stream you can by now hear our keyboard. It's a completely different setup that we use in the GOM studio. We have some microphones over here, not really headsets, and therefore you will pick on the mouse movements and the keyboard movements as well. So yeah, I explained it already earlier, but I had just had the chance to check out some of the comments as well as on Team Liquid as on GuineaPig.net. Yeah, so some people seem to be a little bit confused about what's happening today, why there are two streams, and I think that a lot of them also had a problem of watching the stream itself. I don't really know why. I obviously haven't tried to watch the stream myself, but I'm rather happy to explain to you once again how you can watch two streams at the same time if you enjoy to do so. All you have to do is when you open the GOM player, you press F5 and then on the preference screen you check allow multiple instances of GOM player to be opened. You can read all about it on the GuineaPig.net forum as well, and of course you can leave feedback there. So if you are, well, actually all of you should do that. You should just leave us a little bit of feedback, what you think about having two streams, if you enjoy that, if you are not really a fan. Let us know what we can improve in order to make your esports experience even better. There's also a feedback thread that concerns me, and I'm happy to know if there are any particular things that you don't like about my casting, that you like about my casting. I know that quite often the commentators are criticized pretty harshly, but do your best, do your worst. Just let me know what I should improve on, what annoys you the most, what you really like about my casting. And yeah, I will make sure to browse through all those comments, and I'm in Korea not only to provide you with additional coverage to the Code A, but also to improve on my casting as well. I'm a native German speaker, so English is not my native language. Most of you will probably already have figured that out, as kind of speak with an accent, I guess. But yeah, I'm eager to improve on my casting, to improve on my English, and just to give you the best coverage possible. We have a Terran versus Protoss coming up. FXO ASD against MVP GuineaPig, so Terran versus Protoss, and yeah, the maps will be, the first map will be dual side. After that, we'll have Crossfire, and if there's going to be a third game, it will be played on Antigua Shipyard. We're just waiting for GuineaPig to join our match, and that can last a while. Players have to set up their gear, so the breaks, there will be breaks between the games, and you're obviously yeah, well, you can check out the second stream as well, but if you want to stick around, I'll be happy to tell you all about the players. I'll tell you about Korea just a little bit, so that you are not forced to listen to music the whole time. Makes the whole thing probably a little bit more excited. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about Korea so far, and there are some things that I didn't really know. Do you know when you always watch Code S and you always see Nick and Dan casting, and there are all those people who are hiding their faces behind signs, behind I don't know, umbrellas or whatever. And at some point, yeah, Nick mentions quite often, Tastes mentions quite often that okay, this is because they should be in school, and that made a little bit, I mean, it makes kind of sense, but I was always wondering, okay, well, big deal, they should be in school, but if they skipped school and went to watch these games, then what's the big deal? Who's going to notice? And I was already wondering because I just couldn't picture parents watching that stream and checking if their child would be at the studio rather than at school. But when I came to Korea and I was first at the GOM studio, I actually realized that it was a massive building, and it's not only a building that where the GOM studio is located, but there's also a school in the same building. And after that, it made a lot more sense to me, because I didn't know that beforehand. Maybe some of you already do, but I had no idea. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. So it's actually in the same building. The school is in the same building, and therefore, with some of the people basically just skip school, go to the GOM studio and watch the games. And yeah, it was kind of funny. Another thing that I didn't know is that the sign of GOM, those dots, those orange dots, are actually like the horn of a bear. So because GOM means like bear, and yeah, that's something that I did not know as well. Bull GOM is the fire bat, or the fire bear from StarCraft 1. It was kind of nice because one of the first words I learned in Korea was bull, because bull is one part of bulgogi, which is a dish that we had in the first few days. You have a lot of Korean barbecues as well. And yeah, somebody just explained to me, yeah, that's why exactly the fire bat in StarCraft 1 was called bulgom in Korean, and gom means bear, so therefore you have that sign of GOM TV. That's the reason why it looks like it looks, and yeah, I have no idea why it's orange. Could be purple as well, I guess. I don't know. There might be another reason behind that. I have to figure that out at some point and just ask them. Maybe someone knows. And yeah, guys, we are about to start the next game. We are about to start FXO ASD against MVP GuineaPig. So let's get ready to rumble, and let's have a look at another TDP. And I should stop making noise, because I always forget that the microphone is actually picking up everything I do, not only what I say. And if I hit the table like this, then you will hear it as well. So my apologies. And here we go. It's our second best of 3 today in the first round of the Code A, powered by Sony Ericsson and G-Skill. We have at the left side of the map, at the left side of dual side, we have the Terran player in red. It is FXO ASD. And at the right side, starting as the blue Protoss player, is MVP GuineaPig. Terran versus Protoss today. It's a best of 3. This is the first map. And ASD, who is also known as Nuclear, starting for FXO in the red. He is facing a Protoss player from Clan MVP, and let's have a quick look. Nuclear in his matchup against Protoss has a win ratio of roughly 57% if you consider all the games that he played in total. You can look up these statistics on sc2charts.net as well, which is a pretty awesome site in terms of statistics. But let's have a look at GuineaPig against Terran. He was not all too successful in the past. He only has 20% win ratio. He didn't play all too many games that were recorded. So we will have to see if he's able to take out his opponent. And one thing that you should note about GuineaPig is that he used to be a random player, and it has been quite a while since we've seen him in the GSL participating as a Proto. So after trying to play random, he basically chose Protoss as his main race. And yeah, we'll see if he's able to succeed in his Protoss versus Terran play. For ASD, we have the barracks being built as well as the gas. He doesn't even try to deny the scouting, so the barracks is not part of the wall at the moment, and there's no second supply depot which would have prevented the probe from entering the base. And for the Protoss player, it's really important to get these scouting informations early on. Terran is one of the few races that is really able to deny scouting by just blocking the ramp. Of course, Protoss can do that as well, but the Terran player always has the option of using one of his scans in order to get a glimpse what's happening in the main base of his opponent. It's sacrificing a mule, so you don't really want to do that, but it's always an option for the Terran player, whereas if you are Protoss or Zerg, you either need to sacrifice an Overlord if you're a Zerg player, and if you are a Protoss player, there are basically only two things that you can do when you want scouting information in the early stages of the game and you didn't get a drone into the main base. It's like one of them is just waiting for your robotics and building that observer that is able to sneak into the Terran's main base and having a look what's happening. And another possibility is just researching hallucination, summoning one of the phoenixes and flying in there. But up to that point, quite often a Protoss player is kind of blind and does not really know with how much greed he's going to get away. So you will always want to know how many gateways you need if you need to go for if you can actually allow yourself to get it 1 gate expansion, if you need at least 2 or 3 gates in order to defend against your opponent, because it all depends on how many barracks does your opponent really build. Will there be a 2 barracks aggression? Is he even going, he might even go for 3 barracks and just put as much pressure on you as possible. And if you're a Protoss player and you go for that early expansion, then you will regret it very, very soon if there are 3 barracks, because you won't be able to defend against any incoming pushes. But the Terran player for now is happy to just rely on his command center. There's 1 barracks in the mix, so he's playing a little defensive as well. The command center is built at the bottom of the map, and yeah, there won't be any scouting information for the Protoss player anytime soon. He's just researching his warp in technology, and we are having 2 additional gateways. So he's playing on 3 gates, pretty standard right now, pretty safe as well, getting the first sentries in the mix, and we already have 1 pylon at the bottom of the map in order to be able to warp in units. 2 additional barracks are being built for ASD, so after he finished his command center, he's now just getting the 2nd orbital command, which will enable him to get that 2nd mule as well. Let's have a look when he's actually going to fly that over to the expansion spot. Looks like very, very soon, as he's already throwing down a bunker. And we have a lot of Marines in the mix. There are 11 of them so far. 25 SCVs against 27 probes. And now the Protoss player is also getting his Nexus, his expansion. And he's already a little bit behind. And that's exactly one of the main problems for Protoss. If you don't have those scouting information and you don't really know at what point the Terran player is going to place down his own expansion, you are rather going to take it a little bit safer rather than being sorry in the end. And therefore ASD was able to get that 2nd base a little bit earlier than his opponent, so he does not only command that 2nd mule right now, he is also able to build 2 SCVs at a time, and is also mining from 2 mineral lines, which gives him a slight edge in that stage of the game, and will put him a little bit ahead in economy, which can result in the bigger army or better upgrades. And that's exactly what we're seeing happening right now with 2 tech labs at barracks number 2 and number 3. We have already the stim upgrade, we have the concussive shell upgrade as well, and here are those. Why the hell did he place those force fields? I must have missed something, or those were the greatest force fail fields I've ever seen, but they must have been there for a reason, so there was something happening. The pylon hasn't been attacked, but be it as it may, here we go. That attack is going to start, but there is nothing at all that GuineaPig will be able to accomplish right there. There are already 2 bunkers up, there's a 3rd one, and he doesn't have the damage output to deal with those bunkers. He has a lot of potential force field power to deny the repairs, but that's about it. We have 72 total supply for the Terran player, 67 for his opponent, and I like it. Oh, there's that scan, very well placed, and he sees the robotics facility. There's no robotics bay. He's focusing now on the Immortals, and the Immortals with that range upgrade, the last patch, have just been so much better and so much more. They're used a lot more often lately, especially against Zerg with roaches, but also against Terran. Is very good against Marauders, very good to break down bunkers as well. So those Immortals are really a lot better than they used to be, just with that slight adjustment of Blizzard, with giving the +1 range upgrade. But we have Stim nearly finished. We have Combat Shield is in the mix fairly soon as well. A Ghost Academy has been placed down by ASD. He's going for that Ghost timing, and this is a really brutal push, so that might end the game already. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have the +1 attack upgrade for the Protoss player being researched, and at the same time factory and engineering bay built for the Terran. 22 Marines, 8 Marauders. On the other side of the map we have GuineaPig with 2 Immortals, a bunch of Stalkers, a lot of Zealots, 7 in total, and those 6 sentries. And that's the perfect scan. He knows about everything. And yeah, there are 2 ghosts in the mix already, so those EMPs will not only be able to kill the energy on the sentries, but also reduce the shields of the Immortal, which is quite a nice thing to have if you want to counter the Immortals with a hardened shield. But GuineaPig is doing a good job at just splitting his army, and ASD just decided, okay, well, let's not push it. I'll just retreat for now, and we'll see about that later. already have missile turret being placed, and as you can see, another base for the Terran player who's going to throw down that star turret as well. There's the reactor in order to get out the medivacs. At the same time, we have a second forge being built. Second forge for the Protoss player, which I like quite a lot. Right now he's not going to tech too much, he's not going to rely on Colossus, he's just getting a one immortal after another, relying on this gateway composition. We will probably see charge being researched as soon as the Twilight Council is up and running. We have 2 forages for a lot of upgrades, and on 2 bases, that's basically all you can afford as a Protoss player. If you are really trying to get a lot of tech into the mix as well, you basically need that 3rd base in order to get more gas for your tech. We have ASD on 120 supply, GuineaPig is on 108, and there's the charge upgrade that we've been talking about. And at the same time, we have the +2 armor upgrade, so +2 armor and also the +2 attack upgrade. I like that quite a lot. And one thing that is notable is that if you focus on producing gateway units and those immortals as a Protoss player, you normally try to squeeze in the armor upgrades first. The reason behind that is pretty simple. The armor upgrades, especially for the Zealots, are really important because in combination with the Guardian Shield, you will be able to kill a lot of Marines. Marines won't do a lot of damage to your army if you already have +1 or +2 armor, and at the same time you have the Guardian Shield activated too. So the Terran player now trying to make up for those armors, for those upgrades that the Protoss player already has, is getting his +1/+1. ASD is behind upgrades, ahead in supply just a tiny little bit. We have 58 against 59 harvesters, so both players have roughly the same amount of workers, but there's that 3rd base that's coming up, and of course that 3rd mule as well. Don't forget about the mule, that's fairly important. And now ASD just trying to get additional production facilities. With all 3 bases, that's something he definitely needs to do, and he's already 150 supply against 140. Both players are just now taking it a little bit easy. It's the first map, it's the first game, and this is the first round of the GSL Code A. So there's a lot at stake, and they really need to pay attention. But this immortal army, that's quite a nice army that GuineaPig commands right there. Here, let's have a look at the army supply. 99 for ASD, 83 for his opponent, and the Terran player is trying to squeeze in additional ghosts. So let's have a look if he is going to be able to get those EMPs off in time. There is a Templar archive being built that will enable GuineaPig to get storm and feedback, which is very important. And here we go, very well done, nice EMP hitting the 3 of their immortals, nice force fields as well, another EMP, huge EMP hitting the Protoss army, and he needs to retreat, but oh my god, he's losing so many units in the process. He's losing just a lot of these immortals, and those EMPs were just brilliant. He was waiting until GuineaPig moved down that small choke, and then he just EMP'd the hell out of the Protoss player. So many shields lost, and of course the energy on the sentries as well. That's a tough position for GuineaPig to be in. He's down 43 supply, is at 130 right now, researching +3/+3. I really like his upgrade policy. He's focusing a lot on these upgrades, but will it do him any good at all? There's a Dark Shrine coming up. You have the first Archon being morphed, but that 3rd base had to be cancelled, so there's no 3rd base for that Protoss players right now, while we have the +2 attack upgrade researched for ASD, and this army is just scary. Marines, Marauder and Medivacs in combination with Ghosts have been for a long time now that strategy that most Terran players rely on when they are facing a Protoss, and it works quite well. The important thing will be will GuineaPig be able to feedback those ghosts? Will he be able to make good use of his immortals to dodge those EMPs? That is what he really has to do if he wants to prevail in this game. He's on 157 supply against 200. The Terran player is maxed out, getting the armor upgrade +2 now as well. Here we go. Huge EMPs going off, hitting all the sentries. There's no Guardian Shield available now. Oh my god. GuineaPig clustering up his army. Look at that. He's losing everything. He is just being annihilated by the Terran player, taking out every single unit. The second Argon is being hit as well. Another immortal. He's just steamrolling it. Call him Buttercus. He's on a roll. ASD just killing everything in his path. Those probes don't stand a chance.
He's down on 40 supply. Those DTs are doing a number on the Marines and Marauders, but still, this won't win him the game. As soon as the first scan is available, he'll be able to take out the DTs, and now he's just flying away. He knows that he has basically eliminated the whole army of his opponent, and that there's nothing that GuineaPig can do to recover if he just plays it safe. He could go for a Raven now as well. I don't think he really will. He has Ghost now, so he can EMP the DTs if need be, or just wait for enough energy on his command centers to get off additional scans. We have that robotics bay tech as well, but have a look at the supply. We have 47 supply against 186. That's 123 army supply for ASD and only 23 for GuineaPig. And the FXO player just in a commanding position right now. MVP GuineaPig doesn't stand a chance in this match. The EMPs of his opponent were simply too good, and he was a little bit unlucky to cluster his units like that. If you remember, there was a time when he really paid attention on spreading out his units, but in the fights he clustered them up once again, and oh, beautiful EMP taking out the Protoss player. 2 failed fields that didn't accomplish anything at all, but that was basically due to the numbers. ASD taking the first game against MVP GuineaPig. Alrighty guys, so game number, oh brilliant, I really like that. At the stream now you can see how you can actually set up your GOM player, so that you will be able to move to show 2 of the those both streams at the same time. Jesus, what's wrong with me? I'm just babbling right now. So you have to go to the GOM player, you have to click on preferences, or you press F5, what you prefer. And then you click on allow multiple instances of GOM player to be opened, and you'll be able to watch both streams at the same time. Once again, I would like to take a minute to explain to you why we've set up 2 streams. It's the new Code A system where a lot of games run at the same time. And in order to provide you with the best coverage possible and with the option to join any game that you want, we provide you with 2 streams. It's a little bit awkward right now. I mentioned that already before because I'm not at the GOM studio. No, I'm at the GOM office. I'm casting on my own. I'm Caldera. Nice to meet you. The other stream is being commentated by Wolf and Doa. Yeah, I'm kind of on my own right here. I have to actually do the camera movement as well as the talking, so I might miss an occasional drop or something like that. I already apologize in advance if something like that happens. I'll try my best to give you a good show. And we have the second game coming up between ASD and GuineaPig. Loading screen right now.